My name is Daniel Kowall with This is Daniel Kowall with eXp Realty, and this is the market report for August 2022. So the Calgary Real Estate Board just released the August 2022 market report for the City of Calgary, and it's titled Supply Levels Ease with Fewer Listings in August. So this title is referencing the fact that new listings are trending down. In fact, at 2,718 for the month of August, which is down 3.7% year over year. This is preventing any supply gains or substantial shifts in months of supply. In August, we saw months of 2.24 months, which is down 20.9% year over year. However, it is important to note that August sales activity is still relatively strong and is comparable to record levels of which we saw last year, well above long-term trends for the month. Sales was actually 2,136 units for the month of August, which is down only 0.5% year over year. In fact, year to date, sales are actually up 18% year over year. So as we all know, the interest rates have continued to rise this year. And in fact, the most recent one was another 0.75% increase by the Bank of Canada on September 7th. So this is impacting the market and it is causing sales to slow slightly. However, sales are slowing mostly in the detached segment as buyers are looking into more affordable options in the semi-detached apartment or even row townhouse segments. And in fact, prices are still up in all the segments in Calgary. For instance, the total residential price in August 2022 was $531,800, which is actually still up 11% year over year. So there's a lot of exaggeration in the media when they're talking about Canadian markets and they're talking about, oh, prices have dropped 20%, which is true, especially in some of the bigger markets like Toronto and Vancouver. But when they're talking about these 20% declines, these are 20% below the market highs of January, February, March. For instance, the last media I saw was in CBC News where they're talking about prices in Canada are down 20% since February 2022. Well, you have to know that February 2022 set all-time market highs in Canada in terms of pricing in the real estate market. So when you're comparing, what prices are now to market highs all time, of course they're going to come down because that's unsustainable. So yes, prices have come down, but when you're looking at year over year, especially in Calgary and the gains we've already achieved, last year we're still up 11%. So prices are still up, higher than what they normally would be, which is great for sellers. We also see the detached segment. We saw prices in August 2022 at $633,000, which is up 13.3% year over year. And we saw the semi-detached prices of $569,300, which is up 10.2% year over year. We saw row townhouse prices at $361,300, which is up 14% year over year. And we saw apartment prices at $277,700, which is up 10.2% year over year. In terms of days on market, if you're planning to sell your property, the average days on market in Calgary right now is 35 days on market. So if your house is priced right, that's typically the average amount of time that your house will sit before it sells in this current market. So back to the media and what's happening in the economy in Canada and Calgary. Yes, interest rates continue to rise, which are affecting, what people are able to afford. So for instance, at a lower interest rate, they can maybe afford a $600,000 home, and then now they can maybe afford a $500,000 home. So this is obviously trending buyers into more affordable markets and more affordable housing at lower prices. And at the same time, you have to be aware, if you're buying, how much of an interest rate increase will actually affect your monthly payments. For example, if you do the math on a $500,000 home and the home drops 10% and interest rates climb, well, how does that actually affect your payments? Because most of the time, you'll still be paying less at the current interest rates, at the current prices, than if you wait for prices to drop and interest rates rise as a result. You'll probably pay more in that case 90% of the time. But just do the math on a mortgage calculator and you can see for yourself. And also in the media, in terms of Canada, bigger cities like Toronto and Vancouver are seeing a tremendous amount of price drops, but we are not seeing that in Calgary. Calgary is still one of the most affordable, best cities in Canada, and as such, we've had a ton of migration into the city, especially over the last year, because it's just such a lower cost of living, and you have so many great amenities. You have the mountains. You have great schools, you have great, infrastructure and a great economy. And there's a lot of investments coming into Calgary right now, such as the tech industries, as well as the film industries. And, oil prices are up as well. So there's a lot of things that are adding to job growth and migration in Calgary. So I don't expect Calgary to see, any major market collapses like they're predicting, or they're saying recessions in the States, or they're predicting higher collapses in Toronto and Vancouver. Calgary is just, has so much going for it that's still going to draw in a lot of migration, and people are always going to need houses at the end of the day. So people are, going to be buying, and what better place to buy in Calgary. So yes, interest rates will affect the market, but I don't think it's going to affect Calgary as drastically as it will some of the other markets. So if you're selling, it's always a good time to sell now, because if you're waiting for interest rates could go up again. We might be at the peak right now, because I think it's starting to have a desired effect on inflation. But if they do go up, you don't want to wait any longer, because that's going to limit the amount of people who are going to buy your house. And if you're buying, it's a great time to buy investment properties as well. There's a lot of people that are selling off investment properties because they're scared of the market, and they're scared of what interest rates are doing and how that's going to affect everything. So there's some great deals right now, and it's always best to buy when there's a sale, in terms of an investment property or even a personal property. So if you have any more questions, or if you want any more insights on what I think of the market, or how I can help you in your buying, selling, or investment journey, feel free to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube, go to my Instagram, dk_boutiquerealestate.com, send me a DM, email me, daniel@kboutiquere.com, or give me a call or text at any time, and always happy to answer your questions. That's it. This is Daniel Kowall signing off, and that's the August 2022 Market Report.